We're straight on to race number 2. We step up in trip here for the second event as well. 1,800 metres for a Class 3. 8 of them go round, headed by Jolly Jean. He'll probably roll forward from barrier 3 and dictate from there. Ensuring chase time, Jolly Jean. Last time out, gorgeous again, a 3-time course and distance winner. Mighty Boy switches from Happy Valley to Sha Tin, and Xinjiang Yan up from 1,000 metres, 1,800 in one go.
Yeah, that was some run he produced down the straight 1,000 at Xinjiang Yan. This Jolly Jean, though, will almost certainly go forward, and there's not a huge amount of competition for the pace, and he's a difficult horse to get past in those circumstances. Slightly concerned he weighs in rather heavy for this, but I think he's going to be tough to overhaul.
I really liked Gorgeous King's debut run. They protested as well because he got bumped halfway down the straight, but he's going nicely in the morning. He's come on from that run nicely, and his work has been pretty good, Gorgeous King. He's had a bit of it as well, so he'll strip a fitter horse. And the next one we'll look at here is Gorgeous again. He's working with Seasons Bloom. Obviously, he's be in the group race later on. Thought it was a nice piece. Zach Purton aboard, and the horse was stretching out really nicely. He's been very consistent horse as well, and should get a nice trail.
Yeah, super run. We'll have a look at that race in a second. You mentioned, though, Paul, it's a Gorgeous King. Last start effort, unlucky. Staying on strongly in the closing stage, he comes up third eventually. Yeah,
he really caught the eye. I thought this was over 1,400. He'll step up to 1,800 metres, but he's had enough work to do the 1,800 metres. As you can see, Rattan actually wins the race, and there he was, just the meat and the sandwich. Just as he was starting his run, he did run on nicely enough. He picked himself up and ran a really nice third. Now, they did protest, obviously was dismissed. They didn't overturn it. But for a 1,400 metre race up to 18, I think he looks well placed in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was on the shortlist, didn't quite get in. I'm slightly concerned about maybe second-up syndrome for him, but Paul seems pretty confident, so who am I to argue?
Another Gorgeous. Gorgeous again, had a fantastic season last year, and this is a super effort, I thought, over a mile. Sergeant Titanium a couple of pounds better off, and Ho Ho Field finished off nicely down the outside. Yeah,
Gorgeous again is 2017 calendar year. He's never been out of the first 3 in 9 starts, so you really can't quibble with that. And Sergeant Titanium is an interesting contender, of course. He went on a fantastic run 2 seasons ago. Didn't have a very good campaign last year. He's dropped down the weight. This is a very encouraging effort. He's worked quite well as well, so I wouldn't rule him out either. He's in the market as well, just looking at it now. But yeah, Gorgeous again, the model of consistency.
Yeah, and Sergeant Titanium trialled really well before that run as well. So
Joe was on Gorgeous again. He's now on Sergeant Titanium. Did you read anything into that?
Yeah, well, you know,
possibly.
They're both going to be pretty tight in the market. The pair.
Yeah, there's not. To me personally, I don't think there's too much between them.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Both major players. And Xinjiang Yan, 1,000 metres, huge effort at big odds. Bet up to 1,800 metres here, a distance that should suit him better.
Yeah, but it's interesting, 1,000 up to 1,800 metres. I mean, he's obviously coming on the fresh side here and hit the line really strongly. I'll be interested to see how he runs, stepping up with that huge step up to 1,800, and how they'll ride him, because if he does pull a bit, you know, they might go to the front with him. I
couldn't believe this. I was calling this race. I thought, have I got the wrong horse there for third? Because he needs double the trip. Again, a bit like Gorgeous King, you were slightly concerned about whether that might have just sort of bounced him for a race or two. But yeah, it was a real eye-opening performance.
All right, Alvin Ong from barrier 7 for him. Last one we're going to have a look at is Jolly Jean here trialling. You mentioned he's coming in a bit heavy. He's 32 pounds heavier than his last start.
Yeah, he looks a little bit big. I've seen him in the mornings as well. So he's likely to lead, and he can get a soft lead. But with that weight increase, I'd be very wary.
Yep, I think I've got him on top, but looking at the market, I think obviously 1 or 2 of those work watchers have thought that maybe tomorrow's not going to be the day. But tactically speaking, the race will probably be run to suit. So he's still, he gets his head down, he fights this horse, and I still think he'd be thereabouts.
Yeah, we've seen with the weights, it's, you know, sort of a bit hit or miss, isn't it? We've seen some come in heavy and run really well. We'll wait for Jenny's report on that. But 1,800 metres the trip for the second. Yeah,
I think it's going to suit the 4, Gorgeous King. I like this horse. I liked his fresh up run, and I think he's moved on. He's improved since then. Sergeant Titanium, Gorgeous again, not much between those two. Went Sergeant Titanium in the end because I really liked his trial before his first run. Gorgeous again is very consistent, as John says. He hasn't been out of the 3 for the calendar year, so I think he'll be in the 3 again. And look, Xinjiang Yang, I ended up putting in for 4th because it was a great run over 1,000. And if he can reproduce that over 1,800, he could be in the. But I went 4-2-5-8, but I'll play the QQPs around the 2-4-5.
Yeah, I'm going to go on top with this Jolly Jean, who I think, as I say, Jenny's report will be very interesting on this fella. But as I say, if he gets out in front and he's still in front with 200 to go, he's not an easy horse to pass. Sergeant Titanium in for second. He's definitely hitting that kind of form he showed from a couple of seasons ago. Gorgeous again has got to go in there. Jing Zhanyan I've got in for fourth too. It was a tricky one to know how to play this. All three, or I thought all three on top were going to have going to be pretty short prices. But I'm going to go with QQPs around the 1 and the 5. But he could sling in Sergeant Titanium there as well if he wanted to.
All right, there you go. Just the 8 runners, but a competitive event, race number 2. Feature races 7 and 8 on the programme. Next up for us, though, is race number 3. First leg of the first double trio.